Hello my friends, and welcome to beautiful Doe Mountain, Tennessee. So despite what some of you may believe, and my friends keep jokingly telling me, I do actually have a job, and I've been working for 20 some years in the corporate world, in the computer-based corporate world, and a world which is filled with really stupid slogans and buzzwords and all that kind of stuff, like synergy and circle back and things of that nature, which generally don't mean anything. But I think there are actually some buzzwords and concepts that apply to high performance humans, regardless of whether it's in the corporate world or if it is in something like dirt biking or sports or things of that nature. Something that one of my old bosses, who's a really smart dude, is a really smart dude, just don't work with him anymore, but something that he always said is you can't improve what you can't measure. And I think that is super important in anything you're doing. Whether you're trying to optimize some sort of computer system, or you're trying to optimize your performance on the bike, you cannot improve what you can't measure, because you don't know if the changes that you're making or the work that you're putting in is taking you in the right direction or having the effect that you expect it to have. So I think it's super important to, when you're doing something that you care deeply about and you really want to improve, be that your job, be that your dirt bike skills, you gotta measure it. And that can take different forms. So you can do racing, for example, and that's why I'm a big proponent of racing, because that lets you very easily compare yourself to other people and actually allows you to kind of have an objective measurement. So I think that's a really good way to measure your performance, measure your improvements, lack of improvements, and so on. But obviously not everybody wants to deal with the stress of racing, and also races aren't necessarily something that happens all the time. So if you're doing, you know, some of your own training, or you're testing some kind of component or whatever, tires, suspension, whatever, seeing if you're actually faster one bike to another, I think it's pretty crucial to keep your own metrics. Set some goals, have a little turn track, or have a section on a trail that you know well, that you're comfortable riding in a consistent way, where, you know, you're not crashing, you're not dragging, pushing your bike, where you can ride it consistently enough that if you change something, you can immediately see the difference. And that way, you know, you put $3,000 into cone valves, and then you go and ride the same trail a couple times, before and after, and then you see that you actually didn't get any faster, you can be objective and say, hey, this was a waste of money. Maybe it's a waste of money at your skill level. Maybe you can go back to your suspension tuner and say, hey, this didn't work. Same thing for training. Maybe you're not doing the right kind of training and you're not improving. You might feel faster, but maybe you're not. So I accidentally found Horsepower Hill years ago when I was out here. I didn't even know that it was part of a hard enduro course, and at that point, that was before I've done any hard enduros. So I was not very good, even worse than I am now, and it gave me a lot of trouble. I barely made it up there. It took me something like 45 minutes. There's the first section. And this one's not bad. I stopped here to talk about it because I screwed it up. But even this section, I think I had to push my bike, and it was way easier than it is now. All this stuff was not as dug out. So, point is, I come here every time I'm in this area, and I hit this a bunch of times just to see if I've actually improved as a rider. And mostly I have. This last time it kind of was decent through here. Through here I could pretty much ride, especially if I pick a good line. Like through here it's pretty easy. You can just ride up. But then as I get tired, my technique starts to wane, and I just struggle. So this is a good benchmark, and I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna time myself, and I'm actually gonna do, I think my goal is to do 10 times on this section and 10 times on the upper section. I'm not gonna do the whole thing because it's kind of a waste of time. Still pretty good traction. I can kind of do a wheelie the whole way. Welcome back, guys. This is my 8th go. I'm really focusing on letting go of the clutch and keeping my feet on the pegs and looking ahead. But after going up this a bunch, it's now gotten really slippery. So I'm really actually kind of struggling more than I was earlier. I got up it, but I don't like how I got up it. Oh my God, this was terrible. I'm not even going all the way up. This does not count. But it's starting to get slick. I need to drive more momentum into it. Attempt number 8, version 2. Garbage, and I'm sure the camera does no justice with how steep this little bit is and how big the roots and the rock ledges are. But if any of y'all, my Michigan friends, are watching this, this is harder than anything, any trail at the mountains, or any climb on any trail in Michigan, any official trail anyway. Yeah, on the pegs, on the pegs. Oh, lost it on that final little bit. That was pretty good. Back of the peg. I'm just sitting on the back of the seat. Off the clutch. Looking ahead, line on the right picked. Looking ahead, looking ahead, looking ahead. Still on the pegs. Oh, one dab. It's still still on the pegs. Gotta get more in the back of the bike. I'll try to go up all the way, because then I can side hill to the left, which is the main line, or there's a lot alternate to the right, which I don't think is that much easier, honestly. Your head off the clutch. That was almost spicy. That was actually a good save. I got kicked a lot. I'm gonna make an excuse of I need to get my suspension down or something so I'm not bouncing off of stuff so much. Main thing here is to not high side off the bike. I just weigh the back. Best way to get around here is to get up there and side hill up here, but this got washed out quite a bit. There's a lot more dirt on the bottom. I might try to go up this route. This is why I don't like doing this line. It's hard enough for me that I can't clean it. You know, it looks like you should be able to just ride right up the freaking thing, but I can't do it for some reason. If you ride a Doe and you can clean this, write a comment. Let's go riding so you can show it to me, because I'm really sick of doing this. So of course the camera was not on I just made it all the way up with no dabs, feet on the pegs. I picked a good line and that was a lot of it, but also just trying to be on the pegs. I'm looking ahead from the very start. Not quite make it that time. My line selection going up hills generally sucks. Our guide in Romania a couple years ago was always like, you know, I'd be struggling on some 2-mile long uphill. He'd come riding down and be like, why are you over there? The line's right here. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just not good at picking lines, dude. Bad habits of riding in Michigan, because in Michigan, if you pick the smoothest line, it's super boring. Still made it. Should have committed a little more and kept the speed up here. Oh, those rocks got slick. Towards that. Really got to look ahead at all cases, even here. Looking ahead makes the riding so much smoother and faster. No dabs. Come on. Keep it clean. No dabs through that. Oh, finally got a no dabs on camera. That was good. I kept my eyes up, got some good momentum going, and just drove it across all the loose stuff. Whew! All right, I'm gonna go back down. I'm gonna do a couple different lines. Whew. I still have about a half an hour, I think. So I'm gonna keep working it.